would like to welcome everyone for joining our How to Do Business with BASF workshop. We are really excited to have several of their team members join us today to share, how we can have an opportunity to, potentially do business with BASF. I'm Rita Gamboa. I'm the Business Development Chair for the Hispanic Chamber, and I'm also a business owner of Blue Chip Services. We have provide security, private investigations, and traffic control services. And then we also have BC Industrial Supply, supply and safety, PPE, janitorial, basically all of your general industrial supplies as well. So this is really a neat opportunity for us. We've been working very hard for all of our local businesses in Brazoria County to try to share opportunities and do some of these workshops to help, get, hopefully get some new opportunities for our businesses. So Jaime graciously volunteered and was pretty excited to work with us on putting this workshop together. So I'm going to let him introduce everyone.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jaime Morales, and I'm the one that's kind of in the middle of all of this. So actually worked for BASF, been with BASF for 30 years, and spent 6 of those years in procurement. So knew a lot of the folks involved with procurement. But I'm also on the board of directors for the Hispanic Chamber. So when Gina asked me to go ahead and try to put this together, I reached out to several people, and they were actually very excited because we see this as a win-win for both sides. BASF could definitely need more supplier diversity within our Freeport location and the other areas, but also it'll help the chamber members as well. So with that, I'm going to switch it over to Rashida, and she's going to share the slides and introduce the rest of the team.
Thank you so much, Rita and Jaime, for the opportunity here to BASF to get together with the chambers to continue the BASF supply diversity efforts. My name is Ruchita Banerjee. I am the Supply Diversity and Training Manager working with the procurement team based at Florham Park, New Jersey, which are the North America headquarters for BASF. Give me a second, I'll bring the slide up. So as Rita and Jaime said, we have a few of our team members from BASF with us today. Thanks to everybody who's supported the effort and joining here from BASF today. We have Sharon Karmosh, who is the procurement hub manager for Freeport, Texas. Jaime is here with us as the process expert. Melanie Hasso, she is a site buyer for procurement. And Keenan McAfee, who is again also a site buyer based at Freeport, Texas. Together with we also have Jen Lund. She is the procurement manager for controlling and governance, who has overall responsibility for the supply diversity program as well. And we have Megan Marino. She is the director indirect procurement for the hub operations. So Freeport is one of the hub, and she oversees those operations. She's also part of the Diversity and Inclusion Council that we have at BASF. So she has dual hat and closely related with the diversity and inclusion efforts here at BASF. Just for a quick round robin, Sharon, did you want to say hi?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. As Rashida said, I'm responsible for supporting we call it the Southwest Hub, right? And Freeport happens to be our largest site within that hub. But myself and the team, we support all the sites within Texas, our sites and facilities along the West Coast. And we also have responsibilities for Puerto Rico and a couple outliers like in Nebraska and Idaho as well. Keenan and Melanie are 2 members of my team. There's 4 others that support the other sites within the hub operations. And Megan is my manager.
Thanks, Sharon. Going over to Jen.
Trying to get the unmute button. Hello, everyone. I'm Jen Lund. As Rachita introduced me, I'm responsible for controlling and governance for BASF North America. Support all the lovely folks that sit all around our sites for procurement. Great to meet you all and really excited to be here.
Thanks, Jen. Megan, last but not the least.
Hey everyone, excited to get to see everyone a little bit and talk about a topic, as mentioned, near and dear to my heart. I am functionally responsible for the hub operations. So one of the 5 hubs in North America is Sharon's hub in Freeport, and we're really supporting the manufacturing locations all around Canada, US, and Mexico with day-to-day operational procurement. And I do sit on the Diversity and Inclusion Council, and I can say since I've been at BASF, coming up on 15 years, we've made a lot of progress, but we still have lots of work. So glad to see y'all.
Thank you so much. So we will be continuing with some of the high-level introduction of what we at the procurement team do in terms of procuring the goods and services. I will transfer it over to Melanie Hassel here, who will walk us through the initial content. Over to you, Mel.
Okay, can you go to the next? Can you go to the next slide? Can you, oh. Okay, again, I'm Melanie Hasso, site procurement buyer here at Freeport BASF site, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about BASF Freeport, also give you a brief procurement overview, what we procure, buy here, and go over some simple supplier pre-qualifications to get on site. BASF, we have a North American headquarters in Florham Park, New Jersey. We have a mother site in Ludwigshafen, Germany. BASF is an acronym for Badische, Aniline, Soda, and Fabrik. So it's German. We are located, most of you probably very familiar with where we're located. You probably drive past us daily. We're next to that other chemical plant on 602 Copper Road in Freeport. We were founded in 1958 as BASF's first manufacturing site in the United States. Our site manager, he's very active in the community. You may know him, Chris Whitty. We have 26 producing plants at the Freeport site. We produce 25 products. The site holds more than 920 BASF employees and approximately 840 contractors. Our corporate strategy is pretty simple. We aspire to be the world's leading chemical company for our customers. We want to strengthen our passion for our customers throughout the entire organization. We will grow profitably to create value for our society, and this is how we create chemistry for a sustainable future. Next slide. Next. Okay, so to be profitable and to avoid process interruptions that allow us to do business in a timely manner, we have to acquire services and products to keep it moving. How do we do that? So we do that through 3 main segments of procurement. We have direct procurement, indirect procurement, and our transportation logistics groups. Our direct procurement, they need to acquire the goods and raw materials for production. This is necessary and frequent, so we want to get the best deal. And that direct procurement group is responsible for sourcing and finding us the best deal, those raw materials. Our indirect procurement group, purchasing of services, those are services that are needed for the day-to-day operations or repair and maintenance of our site assets. Our logistics group. This group is responsible for storing and organizing and shipping our materials, our products from site to site or to our warehouses. Next slide. What we produce at Freeport. Okay, so what do we produce to sell? And these are a few examples right here. We produce acrylic monomers and oxo alcohols. These go into things such as coatings, superabsorbent polymer, which we call SAP here on site. SAP goes into numerous things such as baby diapers, toilet paper, feminine hygiene products. So if you've ever seen a wet baby diaper, it has that jelly-like substance. That's superabsorbent polymer. It's just soaking it all up. We can't make enough of it. We produce polyamides. This group produces the nylon 6 resins that goes into carpet, apparel, and numerous other products. We also produce the polyalcohols. These are used in solvents as intermediates to go into other products, such as polyesters, adhesives, plastics, and numerous other products. Our last group is the dispersions group. Dispersions primarily goes into pigments, paints, dyes. Next slide. Okay, so what services materials we need at BASF Freeport? We buy a range of different services, materials, labor, such as demolition work, construction and remodeling, waste management, big service, and basic services such as janitorial, housekeeping, landscaping. We also buy materials such as pumps and valves. We also have an on-site safety store. It's kept fully stocked with PPE that's fully available to our employees as they need it. We have all different kind of crafts that we contract out, such as millwrights, technicians, engineers, and basic administrative type positions. Next slide. Okay, so what to consider to be a supplier for BASF. These are the things that we want you to keep in mind, these few items that I'm going to go over right here. So what are your capabilities and certifications? We're looking for professionalism. We're looking for quality work, integrity. Do you have the relevant background and references? So what have you done? What do you currently do that sets you apart, that's going to make you stand out from your competition? Review of your safety record. Safety is #1 priority here at the Freeport site. We have a long history of good safety performance that we're pretty proud of. So how safe are you? What is your TRIR ratio? What are your technologies and equipment? So we want quality work and we want it done quick. Do you have the latest and greatest? How do you maintain your equipment? Is it maintained? Is it safe to bring on our site? Do you bring innovative ideas? So we want to partner with vendors that are going to bring fresh ideas, suggest better ways to do things, offer process improvements, and work with us, ideas, how can we work together to create savings, to make our processes better, to improve scopes of work. So these are the things, now that you know what we want, these are the things that we're looking for. This list right here will help you. This will help you stand out. And these are the things that, I want to leave you with today to think about. Next slide.
Mel.
Next slide.
Before we go forward, I think here is where we transition to Keenan. Thanks, Mel, for walking us through this segment. Rita, just as a reminder you wanted to pass on a reminder to everybody to keep sending us the questions in the chat.
Yes, if any of you guys have any questions, if you can send it through the chat, we'll do a Q&A at the end of the session, and then we'll try to get all of the questions answered. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. So Keenan, you're on next.
Yep. All right. So thank you, Keenan McAfee. So we're going to now talk about some of the requirements and how do you get on site, and then what's the process of being a participant in a bid. Next slide. All right. So what you have here is, if you can make the slide just a little bit bigger for me, please. All right. So one of the main things is we talk about is having an on-site contract to come on site. So to have a contract in place allows us to kind of work with one another as an agreement. And so this is kind of some of the requirements, some of the basics you're going to need and being able to come on site, as far as the contract giving you the instructions on your performance of work, what is required, your contract responsibilities, talk about how you receive payment, how you put in proof of some of the work you did, your time, some of the insurance discussions, records, inspections, and things like that. And then when you have a purchase order agreement could be more of on a lower value end, or even if you're bringing equipment to the site or doing any off-site work. And so the purchase order agreement is just more of a smaller form of some of our larger agreements. And then when you want to kind of get paid, we pay you through a purchase order. We want to have you come on site, do any type of work, and then we put in a purchase order to you. It means, hey, we're in agreement saying that you're going to do this work, come on site, deliver a service to us, or deliver some equipment to us. Next slide. So how do we do biddings? Our biddings are used through a sourcing tool, and that is called SPS. And so just on a high level of it, this is kind of a preview of what it looks like on our end, but in SPS really is the way we go to make it a fair bidding process, and where you can do an unpriced and a price bid submittal unto myself or Melanie, so that when you come on site, first of all, if you want to do a job, we kind of review those things. We do a technical review, and then we also go behind, and once we see that you're qualified, we'll do a price review, looking at the economics behind what you've submitted. But all that's kind of worked through and delivered through our SPS system, and this is kind of our supplier management system, which you have to register for, so that you can be a participant in bids. Next slide. All right, so to come on site, you have to be, like, safety is a very important part of coming on site. It's very important with working with us. And so our safety system that we use in place to work with our contractors is the Avetta system. You have to register, get your account in Avetta, and then there's 3 stages in Avetta in which you can be red for non-compliance, yellow, which means, hey, you can still come on site, but there's some concerns there. And then there's green for compliant, as you see there at the top. And then if you're registered in Avetta as well, when we're looking for services, or we say, hey, I need this type of vendors, we can go in there and look you up in Avetta and say, okay, we have these type of businesses nearby in Avetta, and they're in compliance, or they're, even if you're not linked to our site, we can link you to our site so that you'll be able to kind of do business with us. But you see on the right here in that photo there, you have to submit all your safety records and safety documents to this system. That keeps us to make sure that you're in compliance, that you're in good safety status, and kind of submitting your safety history in there. So that's our kind of safety program, so that you'll be able to do business with us. Next slide. And then this is just the supplier code of conduct. And supplier code of conduct is BASF is committed to the principles of we source responsibly, and wants to partner with suppliers to further develop their sustainability and performance in our supply chain. And saying just we expect our suppliers to fully comply with applicable laws and adhere to internal recognized environmental, social, and corporate governance standards. So these are like some of the things that everyone knows. If you're conducting business in a proper way, then you should have no issues in being in compliance with the supplier code of conduct. Thank you. Next slide. All right, supplier diversity. I think Rashida, this is kind of where you step in and take back over.
Yep. Thank you so much, Kenan. So just, I think, do a quick walkthrough of, our approach at BASF from a supplier diversity perspective. There are, like I said, we have a diversity and inclusion council at BASF. So the effort is both towards our internal employee from a talent management perspective, and also from a community perspective in terms of engaging with diverse suppliers to create a diverse supply chain for BASF. And we are connecting to what Mel had said. One of the reasons we are focused at supply diversity is that we sincerely believe from our commitment perspective that it allows us to be innovative and differentiated, and have an increased value for our customers in terms of our relationship, because we have it as a shared value with many of our strategic customers over our commitment to diversity. In terms of diversity designations, we have internally, Jen here has helped to kind of build internal tools, which helps us kind of flag all kinds of diversity status. So we work with women-owned businesses, minority businesses, which includes veteran, disability, LGBTQ, disabled veteran, and we maintain that status in our SAP system. And we recognize all classes of diversity within our program. The definition is really, the business should be 51% owned by minority, women, LGBTQ, veteran, disabled with a US citizenship. What we consider internally is that if you are self-declared as a diverse business or have certification from an organization, it will be considered as classified spend for us, but we have affiliation to a few of these advocacy organizations, and if you have a certification from any of these, then it considers as certified spend. Again, we work with all kinds of diverse suppliers, but we recognize and encourage our diverse suppliers to seek certifications from one of these certification or advocacy organizations that you see here on the screen: NMSDC, VBank, NGLCC for the LGBTQ, Disability In, and NVBDC for veteran organizations. We have a few slides here from NMSDC in terms of their certification process. If anybody is interested to learn in terms of what their process is or what the benefits are, I will not go into the details, but just wanted to kind of keep you all informed that we work very closely with them, and they are willing to help and support in terms of the certification process. So with that, I think we come to the end of our content that we wanted to kind of share with all of you here. Rita, I would like to pass it back to you to see if there are any questions at this point.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me go to the chat. Anyone on the line, do you have any questions? I don't see where we have anything in the chat. I know one question that I had is, you talked about the different certifications. Is there like a priority level on how you guys choose suppliers? Is it strictly based on the certifications, or what?
I will take that, Rita, and Jen, please add in. Like I said, the supply diversity program is an all-inclusive program. We are, the purpose of the whole thing is primarily equal opportunity. So every business gets an equal opportunity. There's no really priority order. In terms of working with businesses, the focus is is one, equal opportunity and competitiveness. So if you are a competitive supplier in the list of suppliers who are being considered for that opportunity, you would be considered irrespective of your classification, certification status. Once you have kind of come in on board, Rita, we do encourage our suppliers to seek the certification, but that should not influence getting business with BASF. Jen, did you want to add that?
No, so for BASF, the first criteria is technical competency and making sure you're able to do business with BASF as a standalone company, regardless of what your designation is, or ownership status or anything of that nature. So you need to be able to do business with BASF first and foremost.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just add one point to that. I agree with both what Jen and Rashida said, but also, you know, one of our basic requirements is your safety performance, right? So if you're going to do work at our site, then we're certainly going to make sure that you're in compliance with our safety standards first. And if all that is clear, then basically what they say, then we'll follow suit in terms of technical competence. And then, you know, if you're a diverse supplier, we'll go from there.
So the certification definitely helps you make the bidders list, but then you have to pass the other hurdles on your capabilities, your qualifications, and your safety record.
Okay, is there like a link or somewhere where we need to go so we can submit our information to be considered to be added to the source tool that you guys use?
So we can provide you to the link. We have a supplier registration portal where we ask our suppliers to register. This way, when our buyers, so Melanie, Keenan, are looking to source activities, they can go in there and see already who's pre-registered with BASF. That does not guarantee that you'll be awarded business with BASF, but that does put you on our radar so that we know that you've kind of answered already some pre-registration questions and things of that nature. So we also understand what your competencies are. So that will be provided to you. And it's also our supply diversity. If you, Ruchita, you're gonna have to remind me, we can send that around as well, our registration portal from there as well.
Okay.
Rita, do you have a list already of your chamber members, the name of their businesses, their craft, their address or contact information? Do you have any kind of directory?
There's a directory, right? Yeah, I think there is a directory, right? Jaime, you had mentioned.
Yeah, on the website for the Hispanic Chamber, there is a members listing on there, and we could do that. I could go ahead and send that link over to Sharon and the rest of the team for that.
Yeah, because we can reference that.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
Well, companies companies still would need to go into those systems and register as far as the diversity websites and SPS. So you still would need to do that.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And then I have a question from, they weren't able to join today. They had planned to, but there's a company that is wanting to ask if you guys purchase nitrogen, or is that something that you have in-house?
Jaime or Sharon, can you speak to that for the Freeport side?
Yes, we do. They supply nitrogen in cylinders, or is it bulk supply via pipeline? We purchase both.
Okay, and do you purchase anything via truck, or is it strictly pipeline and containers?
We do have instances where we might need nitrogen trucks, but typically our nitrogen is supplied via pipeline, unless we're using it for lab or testing purposes, in which we would get it via cylinders. Gas cylinders.
Okay. Okay, and then another member had asked about, they have a cement company, and they were wanting to know if there were, were any opportunities from that standpoint to provide cement.
Yes, we're a plant site that has a lot of cement, a lot of parking lots. So yeah, we have opportunities there as well.
There's opportunities. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, because that company is local as well as in Manville. Is there anyone else on the line that has any questions? Please, join in and ask. It's a great opportunity to ask while we have everyone on the line. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to take that as no. I think everyone is good, but I do want to thank you guys for joining. This really is a good opportunity for us to learn, what we can do to be considered. So I think, Jaime, once you forward that list, and then we'll communicate that out to our members to go on and complete the registration process. I think that's really the next steps for our local businesses.
Perfect.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rita,
thank you.
For giving us this opportunity.
Yes, and I also wanted just a really quick shout out. I want to thank Efren. He's with Creative Design Marketing. He's the one that's kind of behind the scenes that takes care of all of our, all of the slides and the recordings and put in all of our programs together. So Efren, thank you so much for all of your hard work.
And I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody in the BASF team. I think the Freeport team is really looking forward to engage with the county on many more opportunities. So please, as Mel said, Sharon said, Keenan said, please reach out. I think for some specific opportunities, there's definitely some work that we can kind of work together on. So let's continue the collaboration and continue to stay closely connected with the Freeport site. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having us, Rita.
No, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Megan.
Bye.
Thanks, Megan, Jen, Rashida, thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great Friday, everyone. Great weekend.
Bye-bye.